Hi everybody, my name is Kathy Marquette and I'm an Associate Professor at the North Dakota State College of Science in Wahpeton. And today I'd like to welcome you to ACCT 215, Business in the Legal Environment. It's a fancy term for business law. And so today what I'd like to do in the next few minutes is to tell you a little bit about the class and how it is set up. First and foremost, we have a customized textbook this year from Pearson. And the cover of the textbook looks like this. Those of you who may be taking my human resource management class also realize that we have a customized text from Pearson. The number one reason, students, that I do this is to save you money. We only have included in the book the chapters that we need for our curriculum. So therefore you're going to paying a lot less money for a customized book. In addition, this year we are using Blackboard as our online platform, and also there is what's called Pearson MyLab. And we will be using bits and pieces of Pearson, especially the video clips for this class. So you might be asking yourselves, what kind of content do we cover in Business in the Legal Environment? Well, there are approximately 12 chapters that we will cover within the 16 weeks. So we spend a little over a week with each one of them. The first one that we talk about is basically our legal heritage. Historically, where does our law come from? It started out with English common law and evolved to what it is today. We'll talk about the courts and jurisdiction next. We'll start with municipal city courts all the way up to the Supreme Court of the United States, which is the highest law of the land, located in Washington, D.C. We'll talk about jurisdiction, the authority to hear and decide a court case. We'll talk about how it's really not a good thing when you cross state lines and commit an illegal activity, because jurisdiction has issues with that. So we'll talk about felonies and misdemeanors. We'll talk a little bit about what the process is when you are arrested, those types of things. We'll also talk about alternative dispute resolution, ADR. It's either called arbitration or mediation, and it's being used a lot today in place of going to court. Number one reason why it's being used? Cost savings. It's very expensive to litigate. It's very expensive to take a court to task with a case that you are dealing with. So many times people will try and get a neutral third party, an arbitrator or a mediator, to come in, listen to both sides, and make a decision. Sometimes those decisions are binding, sometimes they aren't, and we'll talk about that. Next, we'll talk about torts and negligence. Another term for negligence is carelessness. Then we get into product and strict liability, followed by intellectual property, patents, copyrights, trademarks, and cyber piracy. We'll talk about cyber crimes and criminal law, murders, homicides, battery, and assault, what the difference is between those terms. We'll talk about e-contracts and traditional contracts, how we need 4 elements for a contract to be legally binding. Then we talk about agreement. Agreement is when an offeror and an offeree come together over negotiations of something to be done, and usually money or some other item of significance is involved. We'll talk about consideration, capacity, and legality. What is legal capacity? How do we define legal capacity with relation to minors? How do we handle minors in juvenile court? And then, finally, at the end is the Constitution of the United States with the Bill of Rights included. So we cover a lot of ground in this textbook. It's a wonderful book. I've stuck with Pearson for several years because I like the layout of their book. There are many real cases that are current that are put into the chapters to demonstrate the concepts, and I really like the video clips as well. We do cover a lot. I think you will find this class enjoyable, but it does have a lot of information. I'm not going to minimize that. I want you to be sure to print out the course syllabus. It's very important. With each unit there are slides, PowerPoint slides. They are also printable. Make sure that you print them out before each unit closes, because I do have an open date and a close date for each unit. and I don't reopen units unless we have extenuating circumstances on an individual basis. So please be aware of the course schedule and the due dates of your assignments and chapter reviews. The law is constantly changing, and as you get older and you get out into the workforce and you start paying taxes and you look at our government structure, our three branches, judicial, executive, and legislative, it will take on more significance and more meaning to you as time goes on. So the law is dynamic, and how we handle the law is amazing. And even though we have problems with our democracy, most people still, when you ask them, where would you like to live? I would love to live in America. Yes, we have problems, but we still have a democratic society. So with that, I welcome you. I encourage you to ask questions. I encourage you to not procrastinate and practice effective time management. If you need to contact me, email me or call me or check in the cyber office, and I will return your message within 24 hours. My office is located in Horton Hall 230 on campus if you should ever be on campus and would like to see me. Best of luck this semester. I hope you have a burning for learning and the 5 Ds of success: desire, drive, determination, dedication, and discipline. Thanks, everybody.